this is a video about the resource folder because we thought this would be a little bit easier for parents, and especially those at home that are helping with homework. So this red shiny resource folder will be the color of your classroom that you're in. So Mrs. Dar will be orange, Mrs. Barnes and Miss Scott is yellow. We have purple and blue and red. So the color is going to change based on where your kid is in school. So the resource folder holds just that, all of the resources that you need at home to help your child learn, to establish that positive relationship with education. And if you're curious where they're at and what they're learning in school, this is a great way to figure out what new skills we're learning. So in the resource folder, there are several items. The first item that we're going to go over is the ABC cards. At the beginning of the year, they're going to be these colored cards. And I'm going to go over what they say because it's a little bit different than the sounds that we grew up with. So we want to make sure that we're saying the sounds correctly and enforcing that at home. So I'm going to go through the whole alphabet. A, apple, A. B, bear, B. C, cat, K. D, duck, D. E, edge, E. F, fish, F. G, goat, G. H, hammer, I, itch, I. J, jump, J. K, key, K. L, lion, O. M, monkey, M. N, nest, N. O, octopus, aw. P, popcorn, P. Q, queen, Q. R, rabbit, S, soap, S. T, tooth, T. U, up, V, violin, V. W, wave. X, mix, X. Y, yay, yee. Z, zipper, Z. As the year progresses, your students will also get the digraphs. So CH says ch, TH says f, and v. And then there'll be SH and WH also as the year goes on. Also, when the year goes on, we will eventually switch out to these more basic cards and get rid of the picture. The picture is there for prompting for sounds. The next folder is our sight word folder. Now the students are learning the sound of the word. So it used to be memorize, and there's no pattern. It is not like that anymore. We make sure that we're teaching the rule of the word. So I says I. It's making its long sound. In like, like. Well, why is I saying its sound? Because the E is telling it to. The. TH says th, and the E can make the schwa sound the. So this is a decodable word that we can learn the rules for. And they'll get words every single week, and they will go in here so you can see what new words we're getting every week. We also have our number cards. Our number cards we will add to. At the beginning of the year, we have 0 through 10. It's important to take them out of order, to identify them out of order. You can count anything at home and match them up. Pennies make a great one, paper clips, hair ties, Barbie toys, toy cars. Anything you have at home to count is wonderful. I'm going to save this for a second. But we also have a dry erase board with the letters on one side and the numbers on the other. We tell the kids the better they are at writing the numbers, the higher numbers they can write, because you can make all the numbers using these. And then our letters, of course, are tricky for some kiddos, so it's good to practice, practice, practice. They should all have a dry erase marker and some type of eraser. Maybe it's a piece of felt, maybe it's a sponge, maybe it's an actual eraser, maybe it's a tissue. Anything will work. And then the book I wanted to save for last because we are teaching the students how to tap read. Now, tap reading is very important because it helps them track their print. In kindergarten, they're learning that print goes from left to right, and we touch the first letter in every word so we can keep track of what we're doing. They've learned that this is the title, these are the illustrations, and then we have the story. So those are all things that you can talk about with your student, and we'll add more as the year goes on. So I'm going to sample or demonstrate tap reading for you. I like crayons. I like pencils. I like paint. I like pictures. Now, they may not say pictures, they may say art, they may say drawings. The point is that they are tapping every word and saying every part. That's really important. And then at the beginning of the school year, you're going to see homework sheets that are very generic like this. This is just getting to know what they're doing in school. So you would just practice your ABCs, practice your sounds, practice your words, practice your number cards, and read whatever story they have. At the beginning of the year, we only have 1 to 2 stories a week, and then from there you might get a different story every single day. It just depends on the pacing. You do not need to complete everything in one night. You can do reading a night, math a night. Stories I would recommend often because they change out very often. We encourage the kids to do this 3 nights a week with parents. If they do it at least 3 nights a week, it goes towards part of their classroom reward and incentive. Eventually, this homework sheet will be changed out. So that's just to get us started. And then in Unit 2 of reading, we switch over to a very simple one-sheet paper. So they will go through and they'll say the letter names. They'll practice their new words for the week. These are words they can decode. So at, cat, an, pan, at, sat, but, at, pat, ap, nap, and, on. And then eventually we're reading sentences. I see the cat. Pam can pat the cat. And then you just initial that they did the front page. The back page will have their story either handwritten in or typed in, one or the other, and you'll initial. And then there's always a math challenge on the back because their math skills are getting bigger. There might be subitizing, which is like dice and dominoes. There might be missing number. There might be a counting challenge. This one is number identification. So you set a 1-minute timer. The directions are down here. 1-minute timer, and they tell you the number 12, 20, 15, 9, 3, 5, 7, 3. And they tell you as many as they can in 1 minute. You write their score, and they try to beat that the next evening. Like I said, this is a great way to see what your kids are learning, what skills they have, what they might need to work on, and it's a great way to communicate with the teacher also and be like, wow, I really noticed that you guys are learning a lot of sight words. Is there anything I need to know? Let your teacher know and they can help you. I'm hoping to post more videos explaining like rules for sight words and sounds, but that is forthcoming hopefully. But if there's any questions about resource folders, you can reach out to your teacher. Thanks.